Welcome to the channel and to the update on the wheel housing conversation we were having in the first one. There was a lot of comments. We didn't realize that we would find out so much information on it, and we've sort of drawn our own conclusion about it. As you can see, we got a little more seasonal weather here in southern Ontario. It's actually a little chilly out here today. But I want to address a couple of the comments. First of all, some of them definitely made us laugh. There was a few, like Ford built all their cars with hammers. That was comical for sure. Of course, all the ones that got back to us with vehicles of their own, that they even went and checked their cars to see what the wheel tubs look like. Totally appreciate all that info. It seems like Ford and maybe even the other manufacturers had done some similar things to accommodate their convertibles. The other remarks I noticed and I don't understand is when you're watching a car video and you're focused on my hair as your comment. Well, you're probably on the wrong channel, dude. I don't know what to say. It's my hair. We're talking about cars here. So the other thing I want to address is that the Ford bashing. Nobody was terrible on Ford, but definitely I grew up with a dad who had a few different manufacturers in his young days and then settled on Chrysler. When I got my first car, it was 74 Le Mans, and my dad was all over me about how could I own a GM product, they're all garbage, etc., etc., etc. And as I went through my career, I really noticed, I developed my own phrase, which was, they're all junk. I saw so many things about the different manufacturers that really made me question actually all of them at one point or another. And I know for a fact that my dad probably wouldn't stand too tall behind his 78 Dodge Monaco wagon with the lean burn system in it. That 360 was just a piece of garbage at best accounts. So anyways, the Le Mans continued to be my favorite car. I own many of them. And I still own a Le Mans per se. In 77, the Can-Am was a high-end Le Mans that would come off the Le Mans line. It had Trans Am parts put in it. It had Grand Prix parts put in it. And then it went out to Motortown Motors, Jim Wanger's shop, to have the final dressings and decals and spoilers and the hood cut out. Well, 6 years ago when I got this car, the first thing I noticed when I opened the hood was it looked like a 10-year-old had cut the hood out on this car. So I'm going to show you. So I'll flip this. So this is a Pontiac Can-Am. And if you look at the way that this hood was cut out to accommodate the shaker hood scoop, I mean, it was done with a jigsaw or a sawzall. It looks like an act of butchery. But obviously, Pontiac was willing to put their stamp of approval on these cars and send them off to the dealership. So I'm just sort of defending Ford because, like I said, a lot of them have done this. So back to the wheel wells we were supposed to be talking about, and I apologize for all the extra. I just kind of thought about these things as I went along. And we'll just shut the heat off here, and we'll get over to the Monterey here. I'm going to flip it. Here's the convertible 63 Mercury Monterey, and here's the wheel tubs, of course, that were the discussion of the car. Pardon the mess. Tomorrow's actually cleanup day. So there, you get a good look at that crushed wheel tub. And here's the other wheel tub. A little different angle on it. I'll try to make it so you can see it a little bit better. And of course, when the top is actually retracted, it sits right down on top of these smashed in spots on the wheel wells. I'll flip this back to you. So our deduction, I guess, is what it is, and this is only our opinion, but a few of the responses lined up, and like I said, we got contacted privately about this conversation, and we believe the facts are that Ford had a large press with multiple types of dies in it, and they would spot weld the two halves of the wheel wells together, and then put them in this thing. They actually gave it a nickname, at least at one plant, called the wheel housing crusher, and they would just push the tops down. And actually, I'll go back to one thing that's very common about it, is that there's these two very distinct lines that almost indicate some sort of a die, and both sides have that line, or those lines, in the top of the wheel housings. The fact that they're painted is a good indication that this was done outside of the car and then put into the car and spot welded into the car. Again, the opinion as to what happened, but it seems to line up and make sense. And based on what some of the other guys have said they found in their cars, this is the way they did it back in the day, right? 77 was 15 years or 14 years later, and they were still doing stuff like that at GM. So nobody's off the hook, I guess, right? Thanks for watching. Thanks for all the replies, and hopefully this is a little bit of insight for all of us in the end. We'll be back with more Monterey videos, that's for sure. Have a great day.